I'm curious, Serge, how much did you know about the Soviet hockey players before you participated in the Summit Series?
Well, we did not know much because, you know, none of any professional players played against, weren't allowed to play in the Olympics and play at that level, and they really enjoy saying they were amateur.
I basically believed what all of us believed, which was that against that kind of competition it would all be different, and whatever the Soviets did different from us, which was passing more often and shooting less, and the kind of quickness that they had up against us as this opposition, they wouldn't be able to do that, and we would be that much better.
There was so much anticipation about this series, and when the big day finally arrives, Game 1 in Montreal, Esposito scores, Henderson scores. I'm 15 years old sitting on the couch thinking to myself, everything I've heard that was going to happen in the series is unfolding before my eyes, and all of a sudden it took a little bit of a turn. What do you remember from that game?
Oh, I remember it pretty vividly. I remember the early part. I don't remember the second and third periods very well. But I remember, I mean, all of the excitement, the build-up, Prime Minister Trudeau dropping the puck, the explosion of the arena, the first goal in the first minute. And then I remember after that first goal, the game kind of settling in to a pattern that was pretty equal.
I did not dress the first game, and we scored 2 quick goals. You know, everybody thinking, there we go, and that's it, it's over.
Well, then it was 2-1 and 2-2. And then I remember very vividly the end of the first period and coming into the dressing room. And it's really the first time that that there's a chance for your feelings to catch up with your thoughts. Mm-hmm. And I remember Harry Sinden saying something like, as he walked into the dressing room, well, you didn't think it was going to be easy, did you?
Brad Park, he says, I was beside my partner, Gary Bergman, and we look at each other and says, hey, we're in trouble.
Okay, you win Game 2 in Toronto, that's an emotional victory. You tie Game 3, and then the game that I'll never forget because of the conclusion is the loss in Vancouver and the fans booing the team, and then Phil Esposito's emotional appeal to Canadian fans. What do you remember about being booed off the ice?
You know, we were hugely disappointing. That the crowd was, you know, the Vancouver crowd was doing what the rest of Canadians were doing in front of their TV sets. This was a big, big disappointment.
Personally, it's tough to take, but when we played a game like that, the crowd, they're allowed to boo us, and they're doing it in the National Hockey League, you know, and we played bad, and we had not exactly the same lineup either, but we didn't play well. That was our bad game of the tournament.
What was the attitude of the team when the series switched to going to the Soviet Union? How were you guys feeling about it?
Well, we felt beside the game in Vancouver, we felt we have a very good shot at winning back.
The first game in Moscow, Game 5, we were really good. I mean, I remember Tony was playing and watching that game, and for 2 periods, I thought we were terrific and better than we were in any of the other games, including perhaps the game that we won in Toronto. Well, then the Soviets come back and score 4 goals, and we lose 5-4.
Game 5, we're winning by a couple goals, and we blew that away, and that's, you know, from them, not too many people thought we were going to come back.
You entered Game 6, you're down 1-3-1 in the series. What was the mindset of the team knowing to win the series you had to win the next 3 games?
Well, the mind was let's win the next one, and you know, we knew that we dropped the 5th one. We should have won the 5th one, and we knew we had. It's not like we got beat 7-1. We knew we had a very good chance of winning Game 6, and let's win Game 6, and we'll take care of the others after. And we won Game 6.
It's been many, many years since the Summit Series. What are your most favorite lasting memories from this particular series?
I remember the Canadian fans. I remember the telegrams along the walls that started to come in, and it was reading the messages, but to me, even more than reading the messages, it was reading the names of the towns. Mm-hmm. And it was towns from everywhere in the country. So that was very moving.
72, that was the start of the change in hockey.
Yeah.
72. I could feel it back in Montreal. Scotty Bowman started to try to find other ways of doing things, of trainings, practices. You know, that changed the face of hockey. For us that played that series in 1972, and I don't think you could write a script like that. Mm-hmm. Even in Hollywood, can you write a script like that, the way it happened, all those games? So for us, it's I would say, even the guys that won Stanley Cup, it's the highlights of our career.